Whatever the adventure, there's a BMW engineered to take it on. The X3 delivers a striking design with agile performance. The 100% electric i4 packed with pure electric energy. Or the plug-in hybrid X5, an impressive, versatile SUV granting full control on every journey. Choose what powers your next adventure during the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Hurry in for exceptional offers through January 2nd. Visit BMWUSA.com for details.
The most wonderful time of the year. Although, let's be honest, around the holidays, things really add up. But here's the good news. Only at Verizon, you can get a single line for $50 per month when you switch and bring your phone. So, while ice skating for two is definitely costing more, here at Verizon, you can save. Gifts for your third cousins? Steep. A single line with Verizon? Not so steep. A real tree? Pricey. A single line with Verizon? Less pricey. Flights to see Mima and Pops? Those are up. A $50 per month single line? That's down. Even a trip to the Atlanta Holiday Market will cost you more. But with Verizon, you can switch and bring your phone for just $50 per month for a single line on unlimited welcome, with autopay plus taxes and fees. All this to say, during the holiday season, when everything is costing more, you can get more for less right now at a local Verizon store. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G, 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Around Dodge City and in the territory on West, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers, and that's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke, starring William Conrad. The story of the violence that moved west with young America. And the story of a man who moved with it.
I'm that man, Matt Dillon, United States Marshal. The first man they look for and the last they want to meet. It's a chancy job, and it makes a man watchful and a little lonely.
Oh, there. Matt, wait a second. Now, you blasted cheat. I want to talk to you, Matt, if I ever get this confounded team to stop. Whoa!
Are you driving that buggy, Doc, or you're just being tucked?
Oh, this blasted team. They got mouths of solid iron.
They're probably trying to get away from that squeaky wheel. You don't grease that thing, you're going to twist off a spindle one of these days.
It'll last as long as I will. Oh, say, Matt, I just drove in from Meadow Flats.
Oh? Well, every man to his own pleasure.
It wasn't pleasure, confound it. And I got something that'll wipe that grin off your face, too.
That's so?
Yes. Burke Reese and that ornery boy of his. They've been kicking up their heels again.
Oh? Who are they after this time?
Pezzy Neller and his wife. They've got that homestead, next to the Reeses.
Yeah, I know the place. What happened?
Well, it seems Burke Reese and his boy kind of hoorah'd him a little bit last night. They burnt one of Pezzy's chicken houses and fired off a few shots, and Pezzy's acting real funny about it.
How you mean?
Well, he didn't want me to say anything about it. He claims he doesn't want any trouble.
Doc, with Burke Reese after him, he's already got trouble.
There's old Pezzy, Mr. Dillon, scratching around the ashes there.
Uh-huh.
Well, Marshal, Chester, this is a mighty pleasant surprise.
Morning, Pezzy.
Hi, Mr. Neller. Get down and set a spell.
Oh, thank you.
Cora's got some coffee on. Be ready directly.
Oh, fine. We could do with some. Oh, looks like you might have had a little trouble out here last night, Pezzy.
Trouble, Marshal? Well, that chicken house burnt right down to the ground. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but the studding ain't hurt much. Be no chore to fix it up.
Lose many chickens?
Oh, about a dozen, I reckon. Got most of them out, though.
Oh, you're mighty lucky.
Yes, sir. That's just the way I look at it, Marshal. Mighty lucky. It's a downright hollering shame, if you ask me.
Pezzy, I understand there were some shots fired last night.
Look, Marshal, you hadn't ought to rode clear out here just on account of this little go-around. Well, I didn't amount to a hill of beans.
You're a patient man, Pezzy.
Just can't abide trouble, I guess. Never could for some reason.
Too bad the Reeses don't feel the same way. Isn't that who it was? Burke Reese and that bullying son of his, Spike?
Well, I just wouldn't rightly know for sure. It was awful dark last night, Marshal. There was two fellas on horseback. That's all I could tell.
Uh-huh. You been bothered before?
Oh, a couple of nights this week. Might be the same two fellas. Might not. Hard to say. What'd they do? Oh, just galloped around the house a couple of times, shooting off the guns. Didn't do no harm much, though.
Has Burke Reese been trying to buy you out, has he?
Well, he did make me an offer last week. Only about a third of what the place is worth, though. Anyhow, I ain't aiming to sell.
Neither was Ed Talmadge. He had the homestead north of Reese, remember?
Yes, I remember.
Reese bought that place for about a third of what it was worth, has he? From Ed's widow.
You know, I never could figure who Dry Gulch did that night.
Look, Pezzy, if you'll sign a complaint, I'll have both the Reeses locked up inside an hour.
Won't do no good, Marshal. It is dark. I couldn't swear in court it was them.
And you know what'll happen. You don't even pack a gun, Pezzy.
Guns just lead to trouble, Marshal. I'm a mild sort of man, I reckon, and a believer in nature. Like with their herd of cattle. Storm comes up, they just turn their tails to the wind and wait it out. A man can learn a whole lot from animals.
Sure he can, Pezzy. But Burke Reese learned his from a mountain lion.
I declare, Mr. Dillon, the Long Branch ain't never had this big a Saturday afternoon before.
Quite a crowd in town, all right.
I don't even think we can get up the bar.
Well, like, edge along the side here.
Well, maybe I can do it empty, but it's sure going to be a tight squeeze, ooching out full of beer.
You get that full, Chester, and I'll leave you here.
Imagine you in here in daylight.
Chester needed a beer, Kitty.
Oh, he brought you along to chaperone him, huh?
Oh, I got a hunch you brought me along to pay for it. How you been?
No complaints. Look at this crowd. You ever see such a mob?
Yeah, from the looks of things, the fights will be starting even before dark.
Yeah.
Want to have a beer with us?
No, thanks. It's too early for me. But if you're around about 3 a.m., I'll have some supper with you.
Sounds good. Try to make it.
Well, he seems happy enough.
That's old Burke Reese, Mr. Dillon.
Yeah. And Spike along with him.
Now, there's a pair that's due for a hanging.
They're overdue, Kitty.
Well, howdy there, Marshal. Mighty nice to find you on the job. Ain't that right, Spike, huh?
You know, I can usually find some good in anybody but those two. Especially after they murdered Ed Talmadge last year.
There was no evidence, Kitty. No witnesses.
Oh, all right, Matt, but everybody knew they did it.
Yeah, but the law has to go on proof, or it stops being the law.
But people are afraid of them, Matt. They're afraid even to go into court and tell what they know.
Matt!
No?
Matt, come here.
Just a minute, Doc. Come on, Chester. Let's see what he wants. I'll talk to you later, Kitty.
Don't forget, Matt. Supper at 3.
Yeah. Out there in the street, Matt, some folks got themselves in a peck of trouble.
Oh,
Pezzy Neller and his missus. When they come out of Jonas's store and started to drive off, the team pulled the front axle out from under the wagon. Let the whole bed drop right down into the street.
I see. Look, you better stay here, Doc. Excuse me. Would you let me through here, please?
Yeah, stand up.
Excuse me, please.
Oh, now, ho, ho, ho there, ho, ho.
Looks like you had a little trouble there, Pezzy.
Oh, hello, Marshal. Yeah, I reckon the kingpin must have fell out.
Kingpins don't fall out, Pezzy. They fit in from the top.
Guess to do with that. Well, then it must have bounced up and fell out over the top somehow.
Uh-huh. Did you see Burke Reese take that pen out?
No, sir, can't say I did, Marshal. Me and Cora was inside the store there.
All right, what about the rest of you? Any of you see Burke Reese or anybody else fooling around this wagon? Not one of you saw a thing, huh?
Don't bother about it, Marshal. We just lost a little flowers, all. About all we bought, in fact, except a roll of heavy wire for a clothesline. Of course, it wasn't hurt none.
You all right, Miss Nella?
It ain't nothing, Marshal. Just cut my mouth a little.
You better let Doc take a look at it.
Oh, the bleeding's pert near stopped. Reckon I bumped it on the kickboard when I got throwed out.
Pezzy, if you don't care about yourself, you might think about your wife here.
Now, don't you go plaguing him, Marshal. Pezzy's been taking care of me for a good lot of years now.
And he ought to keep on doing it, ma'am.
Pezzy's got his principles, Marshal, and I respect him for 'em. He's a mild man, and he can't abide violence.
All right. Some of you men give him a hand there, will you? Come on, Chester.
Yeah, you sure can't help him much when he won't lift a hand to help himself.
There's one way I can, Chester. I don't like doing it, but somebody's got to.
What's that?
I'm going to show Burke Reese up for the coward that he is.
There they are, Mr. Dillon, sitting over there at the poker table.
All right, Chester, you move on down there by the end of the bar. Just keep them off my back, that's all.
All right, sir. But you watch him, Mr. Dillon. Make him be awful mean.
What was the trouble out there, Matt? I didn't hear any shooting.
Later, Kitty. Right now, you better stay clear.
Matt, where are you going?
Well, Marshal, me and the young'un's getting up a little game. Like to sit in, would you?
Reese, you're a filthy murdering coward.
Now, you got no call to talk like that, Marshal.
You shot Ed Talmadge in the back last year so you could buy out his homestead.
That so?
Now you're after Pezzy Nuller. You shot up his place a couple of times and burnt one of his buildings.
Pezzy say all that, did he?
Pezzy's not one to stick up for his rights, so somebody's got to do it for him. Reese, I just called you a rotten coward.
Hold it, Spike. That's just what he's trying to get us to do. It won't work, Marshal. I ain't gonna draw on you.
Of course not. You're too yellow, both of you. Except with a man like Pezzy Nuller who doesn't wear a gun.
I ain't drawing, Marshal.
Didn't you hear me, Burke? I called you a lying coward.
I'm sitting right here.
No, you're not. Now get up on your feet.
Get up. I know you, Marshal. You'd never shoot a man down cold.
I wouldn't do.
Spike, reach over slow. Unbuckle my gun.
You touch that belt, Spike, and I'll blast you out of your chair.
All right. Leave it, Spike. But I still ain't making no move.
No? Well, maybe this will do it. All right, what about it, Reese?
I'm staying right here on the floor, Marshal. You sit tight, Spike. I told you, Marshal, no matter what you do, I ain't gonna draw against you.
You're a smart one, Reese. You're smart just like a rattlesnake. Now, you get up and get out of here. Get out, both of you, before I kick you to death.
Come on, Spike.
I've never seen you act like that before.
Yeah, I know, Kitty.
Not that I blame you.
I know they wouldn't draw either one of them. I just wanted to show them up for the cowards they are. Well, now I'm afraid there's only one more thing I can do for Pezzy Nuller.
What's that, Matt?
Attend his funeral.
Old Chester, this is the worst coffee I ever tasted. I drunk better embalming fluid.
Well, you kept your mouth shut, Doc, till after you'd swallowed 3 whole cups.
Well, no wonder my throat was still paralyzed from the first swallow.
You're sure losing a lot of sass for being paralyzed in the neck. You want some more, Mr. Dillon?
No, not right now, Chester.
By Jim, you complain about it, Doc, but I notice you always come hot-footing over here first thing when you wake up.
It's a trial by torture, Chester. If I can live through Chester's coffee, I can face anything the day brings.
Well, forevermore, what do you know?
Yeah?
What is it, Chester?
Pezzy Nuller, coming down the street there in his wagon.
No?
Well, Matt, how do you figure a man like that? He doesn't want any trouble, he says. He can't abide violence. He don't even realize he's on borrowed time.
I guess not, Doc. All he was worrying about yesterday afternoon was getting back home and putting up a clothesline for the missus.
Just a couple of babes and a forest of wolves.
He stopped right out in front here, Mr. Dillon. Marshal Dillon.
Now, let's see what he wants. Morning, Pezzy. You're up early, aren't you?
Reckon I am at that, Marshal. Oh, hello, Doc. Mighty glad to find you here.
There's something wrong?
Well, in a way, I guess there is, Marshal. Had a little accident out at our place during the night.
Accident? Who?
Doc, I reckon you better take a look there in the wagon bed. Just throw back the cover.
All right. Give me a hand here, Chester.
All right, Doc.
Mighty sorry to have this happen, Marshal, but it's just one of them things that couldn't be helped, I reckon.
Mr. Dillon, it's the Reeses.
What?
They're dead, Matt. Both of them. Their necks have been broken. There's marks across their throats. It's like they've been hanged.
Yes, sir. That's exactly what I said to Cora this morning when we found him laying there. Looked like they'd been hanged, what I said.
Found them where, Pezzy? What happened?
Well, sir, me and Cora woke up last night and heard some shooting and hurrahing like them other times.
Yeah?
Only it stopped all of a sudden and the horses galloped off, so we went back to sleep. This morning when I come out, I found these two laying right there in my chicken yard, deader than doornails.
Go on.
Then I figured it was that doggone clothesline, Marshal. I put it up good and solid, 'cause Cora always hates to have her wash get down in the dirt. And I reckon these two just didn't see it in the dark that way.
They rode right into it, huh?
Man's got a number 20 rigging cable hooked under his chin and a galloping horse stretching his feet in the stirrups. Well, sure don't do his neck no good.
No, sure doesn't. Well, you better take him down to the undertaker's.
Yeah, all right. I'll ride along with you, Pezzy. Might as well earn my fee.
Well, I'm sure sorry to put you fellas out this way, but man can't be expected to go around warning all his neighbors every time he puts up a new clothesline.
No, I guess not, Pezzy.
At that, I got to change the darn thing when I get back home. Put it a foot and a half too high for some fool reason. Well, Cora can't even reach it. Come on, get up, boss. Stop in to see us, Marshal, whenever you're out our way.
Yeah, I will, Pezzy. Well, Chester, never sell a mild man short.
Well, you said them Reeses was overdue for hanging, Mr. Dillon.
Yeah. They're sure not overdue anymore.
Gunsmoke. Produced and directed by Norman MacDonald, stars William Conrad as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal. The story was specially written for Gunsmoke by Les Crutchfield, with editorial supervision by John Meston. The music was composed and conducted by Rex Corey. Sound patterns by Ray Kemper and Tom Hanley. Featured in the cast were Ralph Moody, John Daner, and Helen Cleve. Harley Bear is Chester, Howard McNear is Doc, and Georgia Ellis is Kitty.
This holiday, BMW has reunited 3 members of the family at the BMW Road Home Sales Event. The Agile X3, engineered for any adventure. The plug-in hybrid X5, commanding the streets with unmatched presence. And the all-electric i4, charging into the future with impeccable performance. Hurry in to find what powers your journey at the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Visit the Valley BMW Center today for attractive lease and finance offers.
The most wonderful time of the year. Although, let's be honest, around the holidays, things really add up. But here's the good news. Only at Verizon, you can get a single line for $50 per month when you switch and bring your phone. So, while ice skating for 2 is definitely costing more, here at Verizon, you can save. Gifts for your third cousins? Steep. A single line with Verizon? Not so steep. A real tree? Pricey. A single line with Verizon? Less pricey. Flights to see Meemaw and Pops? Those are up. A $50 per month single line? That's down. Even a trip to the Atlanta Holiday Market will cost you more. But with Verizon, you can switch and bring your phone for just $50 per month for a single line on unlimited welcome, with autopay plus taxes and fees. All this to say, during the holiday season, when everything is costing more, you can get more for less right now at a local Verizon store. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G, 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.